Hello, thanks for tuning in once again. I am Latif Warnick of One Soul, one source of universal love. Today I want to talk about a concept that is a little comical, but likewise has the potential for serious consequences when it is taken out of context. That concept is snitching. We've all heard expressions like stop snitching or snitches get stitches. The hip-hop culture, along with the youth, wannabe gangsters, and so on, have perverted this word to suggest that no one should ever call the cops when witnessing a crime. In other words, if you see someone robbing a store, selling drugs, or even worse, murder someone, you, I presume, are supposedly supposed to turn a blind eye and ignore what you saw. There are some knuckleheads and criminals in society who believe they should be able to commit crimes with impunity. That somehow the law-abiding citizens in society are worse for reporting crimes to the proper authorities than those who are actually committing the crimes. This, of course, is nonsense, straight nonsense. Imagine if everyone simply minded their business and provided no assistance when they witnessed a crime in action. We would literally be living in chaos. Society would become so dysfunctional that it would simply crumble. The irony is that these same criminals like the police when they've been the ones wronged. I understand that there has been some questionable relationships with law enforcement in certain communities, and calling the cops doesn't always result in a favorable outcome. However, those instances pale in comparison to the times when the authorities are able to apprehend the suspects or culprits who may have committed a crime. Ask yourself, how would you feel if your home was broken into, someone hit your car and ran, or your loved one was murdered? There were witnesses at the scene of the crime, but no one was willing to report what they saw. What that leads to is a lot of rumors, gossip, and speculation, and ultimately citizens seeking to take matters into their own hands for street justice or revenge. Growing up in the South Bronx, I've witnessed this personally. I've seen families lose loved ones, and then brothers go out on a rampage seeking revenge, killing another person, only to get caught and spend the rest of their lives in jail. We may not always like how the justice system operates or feel vindicated based on court decisions, but it is the only way to maintain some degree of a civilized society. More importantly, if we really analyze the concept of snitching, we would better understand how this so-called code began. Snitching had nothing to do with the law-abiding citizens reporting information to the authorities when they believed it may be valuable to solving a crime. The authorities typically filter through the information they receive from different sources to see if a consistent pattern reveals itself. They then use this information to find motivation and/or suspects. Those suspects then have the opportunity to defend themselves in court. Again, the way of our justice system is set up so that the suspect is innocent to proven guilty by a jury of their peers. Again, no system is perfect, and the American justice system is no exception. However, the notion of snitching was based on the idea of there being some degree of honor among thieves. In other words, if you were breaking the law along with others and you got caught, you were not supposed to tell on the ones that didn't get caught. If you knew you did the crime, then you do the time. Likewise, if you were a member of the mob, mafia, a gang, or just had some partners in crime, then they were supposed to look out for you as well if you had to do prison time. They were supposed to come visit you, look out for your family, and possibly ensure you had money for commissary. However, if you had made the decision to live a criminal lifestyle as a pimp, gangster, stick-up kid, drug dealer, etc., then you were not supposed to snitch on the others like you simply to get your own self out of trouble. There was no respect for someone who would rat on others simply to save their own ass. This, my friends, is a snitch, not the law-abiding citizens who go to work or school to make a better living for themselves and their families. The other, perhaps more important aspect of allowing criminals to run communities is they bring down the property value of these communities. This isn't Robin Hood or Nino Brown, giving something back. When you allow crime to run rampant in communities, then it impacts businesses, jobs, and politics. No one's going to invest money in those neighborhoods that are not safe. Government agencies put those neighborhoods at the bottom of the list when it comes to repairing roads, pruning trees, schools, etc. Then the property values reach rock bottom, go down, and this leads to gentrification. That when investors come in to buy up the properties for dirt cheap, renovate them, and then slowly raise the prices until the people who have been living in those communities for decades can no longer afford to remain there. This is what happens in Harlem, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and many other communities across the nation. We have to take it upon ourselves to redefine negative labels and understand the true consequences of limited thinking and how it affects our livelihoods, our families, and communities. Snitching is one of those ignorant ideas that proves criminals are manipulating communities for their own selfish gains. It's time to flip the script. This is what Neighborhood Watch is all about, preserving a safe and crime-free environment for the people of those communities to get educations, jobs, and improve their life. This is what affects real estate property values, and you really got to take some time to think about this idea and what you can do to help impact your community for the better good. Give it some thought, give it some heed. I wish you the best. Bless you. Peace.